Hi, my name is Georgie, and we will be talking, teaching all of you at home about Transcendentalism. I'm here with Mr. Henry David Thoreau and Mr. Ralph Waldo Emerson. First off, how did you guys even start Transcendentalism?
First off, Georgie, Transcendentalism is an idealistic, philosophical, and social movement that developed in New England around 1836 in reaction to rationalism.
What defines Transcendentalism?
I like to go by the three I's: intuition, integrity, and idealism. The goal is to truly transcend this world to a union of God and the ideal through intuition, conscience, and political action.
Wow, that is a quite deep thought. And Mr. Thoreau, what do you have to say about Transcendentalism?
Well, I've learned all I know from Ralph. He taught me that individual conscience transcend experience is a better guide to truth than are the senses and logical reasoning of the people.
Mr. Emerson was your mentor? Was he your only mentor?
Yes, after I quit teaching, I had nowhere to go. Then I decided to move into Ralph's house. I lived there for 2 years. He had me doing odd things to pay my rent. I decided I would not go back to teaching and I would devote my life to exploring and writing about the relationship between humanity and nature.
Mr. Thoreau, what inspired you the most from Emerson and why?
Definitely his writings. His writing pieces of nature and self-reliance were exquisite.
Mr. Emerson, tell our viewers what self-reliance is about. What is the message you are trying to convey?
Well, self-reliance is about the conflict between society and the individual, conformity versus nonconformity, and just versus unjust. These are all parts of transcendentalist ideas.
Can you explain the difference between conformity and nonconformity for some people who may not know?
Sure, nonconformity means that someone is doing what other people aren't. It's not the norm. It's basically following your heart.
I read it and it was most certainly a great piece of writing. Thank you for that. And Mr. Thoreau, what writings have you shared with the world?
I wrote tons of pieces. My most famous pieces being Why I Went to the Woods, Why I Left the Woods, and Civil Disobedience.
What message do you want your readers to take from your writings?
What I truly want to convey is about living deliberately and isolated from everyone else. Specifically, when I lived in the woods. Here I exemplify the ideas because I do not conform and I follow a simple, loving style which makes me happy. Also, people need to realize government is best in which governs least, and that the just man is living in an unjust society.
Mr. Thoreau, why did you leave the woods?
To tell you the truth, I never intended to stay in the woods permanently. After 2 years in the woods, I believed that it was time to return to society and have other experiences outside the woods.
This question is for both of you. How would you assist young philosophers who wish to become transcendentalists?
Well, first, as I mentioned before, I follow the three I's. Next, be you. Don't deny yourself of being who you're truly meant to be. Also, in my writing, I become a transparent eyeball, excerpt from nature. I state that I am nothing, I see all. And basically what this means is that I allow myself to become a part of the world. Although I can see all, I do not force my opinion into. Rather, I reflect my views upon others the way I see it. It's really a simple way of thinking.
Very well said. My main focus would be for you guys to follow what you believe in. Being a conformist limits you guys from your beliefs and controls your actions. Be confident in your ideas and continue to pass this to your children in the future.